Hello students, today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is matter for class 8. Let's try and understand what do you mean by matter. Matter is anything that has mass and which occupies space. So matter anything that has mass and occupies space. Everything around us is matter. For example, duster, book, chalk, air, water, and so on. The matter exists in many forms, but here we are going to study three forms of matter, that is solid, liquid, and gases. Solid, liquid, and gas. Now in solid state, the molecules are tightly packed, all the particles are tightly packed. In liquid, the particles are not that closely held as compared to solid. But in gases, the particles are moving freely. Matter exists in many forms depending upon the temperature and pressure. Now let us learn about the properties of states of matter. The first property, what we are going to see is mass. Second is space. Third is volume. Fourth is shape. Fifth is fluidity. Sixth is density. 7 is rigidity, and 8th one is compressibility. So solid has mass. What about liquid? Liquid also has mass. Same way, gases also has mass. Second, space. From the definition, it occupies space. So all these three states of matter occupies space. Let's talk about the volume. Solid has definite volume. Okay. Liquid also has definite volume. But gases, it does not have definite volume. So, no volume. Next, shape. Solid has definite shape. Okay. Liquid, it does not have definite shape, but it can take the shape of a container. Let's try with one example. So here I have 100 ml, okay, in this conical flask. If I transfer this in a beaker, this is again 100 ml, that is volume will remain same, but only thing the shape of it will try to take the shape of a container. Okay. So liquid, no definite shape, but takes the shape of container. And gases, it neither have definite shape nor definite volume. Fluidity. Fluidity is nothing but the substance which is having ability to flow. So usually liquid and gases have ability to flow. Okay. So in solid does not flow. Okay, if you take an example, common soil, if you try to drop it, it is going to form a heap. So, solid does not flow. Liquid state, it will flow, but will flow in the downward direction. Flows in downward direction. And in gases, it can flow in any direction. So, in any direction. Next is density. Density is nothing but mass per unit volume. So when we are talking about the solid state, solid has the density, that is, it is having the high density. Liquid also has the density, but it is having the less density. So less density. And gases, it has least density. Next, rigidity. Rigidity is the stiffness. So solids are having the high rigidity. Okay, so you can say high rigidity. Liquid has the less rigidity. Less rigidity. And in gases, it is having no rigidity. As in the gaseous state, particles are free to move in any direction. Next one, we have compressibility. Now in solid state, since the particles are arranged in a closed manner, you cannot able to compress it. So here in solid state, it is incompressible. In liquid state, it is compressible but to a very less extent. So here also you can say that it is compressible but to a less extent. So you can say incompressible. Alright. Or it is compressible to a very less extent. In gaseous state, it is highly compressible, okay? Because the particles are moving continuously, so with the help of pressure, it can be compressible. So it is highly compressible. So in this, we have seen the properties with the states of matter, solid, liquid and gases. In that, we have studied about mass, space, volume, shape, fluidity, density, rigidity and compressibility. Let us study about the kinetic molecular theory. You must be wondering why matter exists in different states and why they behave differently. Here, the kinetic molecular theory gives us the explanation about the states and the behavior of matter. So, kinetic molecular theory states that matter is made up of large number of tiny particles that are constantly in motion and they are being separated by a finite distance. Now in this, the tiny particles what we have, those are atoms or it could be molecules. Let's see what do we mean by atom. Atom is the smallest unit of matter, okay? Atom is the smallest unit of matter that can take part in a reaction and it may or it may not exist independently. Whereas the molecule is the smallest unit of matter which can exist independently, okay? So here the kinetic molecular theory states that matter is of large number of tiny particles. These tiny particles are atoms or molecules that are constantly in motion and are separated by a finite distance. Okay? Now, let us learn the postulates of kinetic molecular theory. Postulates are also being considered as assumptions. Okay? The things that are being assumed to be true. So here there are four postulates. First one is matter is composed of very large number of tiny particles. So these tiny particles are atoms and molecules. Now these particles are so small that they cannot be seen to our naked eyes. They are microscopic. Second, between the particles of matter there exists a vacant space called interparticle space. Now if we are talking about the interparticle space, solids they are tightly packed. If I draw the structure over here for solid, they are so tightly packed that they do not have the interparticle space. Okay, they are all tightly packed. If I talk about the liquid, now this is solid, liquid. The particles are not closely held as compared to solid, and in gas the particles are very loosely held. So here between the particles of matter there exists the vacant spaces called the interparticle space. So in solid state the interparticle space is very less, but in gaseous state the interparticle space is more, and the particles of matter attract each other through a force called as interparticle force. So here the particles are closely packed, so this solid state has the maximum interparticle force of attraction, and the interparticle force of attraction is minimum in gaseous state. Third one, the particles of matters are always in motion and they possess kinetic energy. Here the particles are moving constantly. In gaseous state the particles are moving constantly, and because the particles are moving they possess kinetic energy. As far as solid is concerned, particles are closely held, so here the particles cannot able to move. They are in a fixed position, their arrangement is fixed, so they will just vibrate. Okay, that is to and fro motion about their position. Okay, in liquid state the particles can able to move because they are not closely held as compared to solid. Last one, as the particles are moving randomly, they keep colliding. So here when the particles keep on moving, that is especially in the gaseous state, because the particles are loosely held, they keep on moving constantly. So when they are in motion, they will collide with one another. Okay. So when the particles collide each other, we call it as interparticle collision. Okay. So the number of collision the particle makes to the wall of the container and the force, okay, with which they collide each other, it tells us about the pressure, okay, the magnitude of pressure that is being exerted with the matter. Okay. So these are the four postulates which you all have to remember. Particle also moves randomly. Okay, the particle move in any direction. So it was the Scottish botanist that is Robert Brown, who told about the particles that are moving in any random direction, and he gave the name as Brownian movement. That is, the particles are moving in any direction and they keep on colliding each other. That is, randomly they are moving, okay, from one place to another. Let us study the states of matter. The interparticle force of attraction and interparticle space decides the state of matter. Okay, so the first we are going to study the solid state. In solid state, let's take an example, ice. In solid state, the particles are closely packed. Okay, so here the interparticle force of attraction. Interparticle force of attraction is maximum, and the interparticle space, the space between them. Okay, so the space. This interparticle space is minimum. Okay, the solids are tightly packed. Okay, they are close to one another. Okay, so here the interparticle force of attraction is maximum and the interparticle space is very less. So here the particles cannot able to move, they can only vibrate, that is to and fro above the mean position. So here the kinetic energy is not sufficient to break them through the interparticle force of attraction. Now let's talk about the liquid state. Here we have taken an example, that is water. So in this the particles are not closely held as compared to solid. So here the interparticle force of attraction is less than compared to the solid state. Secondly, if we talk about the interparticle space, it is more than compared to the solid state. So here the particles can able to move. Okay. Now, here the kinetic energy is not enough to enable them to break the interparticle force of attraction. So the additional energy is required, wherein with the help of additional energy, the particle can able to fly within the bulk of the matter. Okay, so that is about the liquid state. So here the interparticle force of attraction is less than solid, and the interparticle space is more than solid. Let's talk about the third one. Third one is the gas. Now in the gas, the interparticle force of attraction is less than compared to the liquid state and then compared to the solid state. So here in gaseous state, the interparticle force of attraction is least, wherein the interparticle space is more than compared to the solid state and liquid state. So here the interparticle force of attraction is least and the interparticle space is more. So here the particles can able to move in any random direction and can able to collide the particles present over here. Okay. So here the kinetic energy is sufficient to enable them to break the interparticle force of attraction. So wherein the force of attraction is negligible in gaseous state. So here we can compare that solid have the maximum interparticle force of attraction and the minimum interparticle space. If we try to compare the liquid with the solid and that with the gas, liquid, the interparticle force of attraction is less than compared to solid, but it is more than compared to gases. Second, the interparticle space, it is more than the solid state, but it is less than the gaseous state. And the last one is gaseous state, wherein the interparticle force of attraction is negligible or it is least and the interparticle space is more. Okay. Now we will study about diffusion. Diffusion is mainly taking place in liquids and gases. Okay. Now diffusion is nothing but when two or more liquid or gases, when they come in contact with each other, the particles keep on moving randomly, colliding each other, and the mixing is taking place. Okay, so that is the diffusion. Diffusion mainly occur of its own without stirring. Okay, now here in the liquid state or in the gaseous state, the particles are free to move in any direction. Okay, so they keep on colliding each other. You can take an example with the water, that is with the liquid state, and that with the gaseous state. In liquid state, if we take water and if we add some different liquid in that, it will mix immediately, okay, without stirring. Same way with the gaseous state also, with the gas also. If you light incense stick and if you place it at one corner, it will mix with the air and the diffusion will take place. So here the diffusion is taking place in the liquid state as well as in the gaseous state. Let us study the properties of matter. In this, the first what we have is size and shape. Now we have already studied the solid state, liquid and gas. Solid has definite shape and definite size. So here the particles are closely held. So here the particles cannot able to move. Okay, they will just vibrate to or fro from the main position. Second, in the liquid state, here the particles are not that closely held as compared to solid. So here liquid, it will try to take the shape of the container. Liquid doesn't have the definite shape, but it will try to take the shape of the container. Whereas in gaseous state, the particles are constantly moving. Okay, so here gases, it neither has the definite volume nor it has a definite shape. So in solid state, here the particle has a definite volume and the definite shape. Liquid, it has the definite volume but it doesn't have the definite shape. It takes the shape of the container. And in gases, it neither has a definite shape nor definite volume. Okay. Second, density. Now here, among the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gases, solids are having more density. Solids are denser than compared to liquid and then compared to the gases. So here, density is nothing but it is the mass per unit volume. So since in solid state the particles are closely packed, so the particles cannot able to move. So it is having the perfect volume, okay, and it is having the mass also. The solids are having the high density. But if you talk about the liquid, it doesn't have that high density as compared to the solid state. And that with the gaseous state, it is going to have the least density than compared to solid and liquid. Third, we will see the change of state due to heat. When the solid is supplied heat, the kinetic energy of the particle, that is of the solid, increases as well as the temperature also goes on increases. Okay. So when the solid starts heating, okay, so here the kinetic energy of the particle increases, that is sufficient to break the interparticle force of attraction. So So here the solid is going to show the transformation to the liquid state. So that is nothing but we call it as melting or fusion. That is the solid, the particle from solid state is going to get converted into liquid state on heating. That is melting or fusion. So again, if the heating continues, again the particle from the liquid state will get converted into the gaseous state. So that again the kinetic energy will be enough to break the interparticle force of attraction, which will convert the liquid state into the gaseous state. The process in which the liquid is getting converted into the gaseous state, we call it as vaporization. Now in this, the reverse process can also take place, that is in the form of condensation. So if you stop the supply of heat, again the kinetic energy of the particle will decrease, okay, wherein the gas is going to get converted into liquid state. So the process in which the substance in the gaseous state getting converted into liquid state, we call it as condensation. Again, if you decrease the supply of heat energy, again the kinetic energy of the particle will keep on decreasing, thereby on cooling, here the liquid state will get converted into solid state. So that process is nothing but we call it as freezing or solidification. That is when liquid is getting converted into solid state on cooling, we call it as freezing or solidification. So here with the change of state due to heat, the different processes taking place. That is solid is getting converted to liquid. When you increase the temperature, again the kinetic energy increases, the interparticle force of attraction, it decreases. So same way, the liquid state is going to get converted into gaseous state. Again with the increase in the temperature, the kinetic energy of the particle increases, the particle keep on moving each other, they will keep on colliding, converting from liquid to gaseous state, that is vaporization. So here the reverse process can also take place, that is from the gaseous state, the particles can get converted into the liquid state by cooling it, that is by decreasing the temperature, thereby decreasing the kinetic energy. Temperature in the sense that the heat energy. If you decrease the heat energy, the kinetic energy of the particles slows down, wherein the conversion from the gaseous state to the liquid state takes place. That is your condensation. And the freezing is nothing but again the liquid state is going to get converted into solid state on cooling, wherein the freezing takes place, or it is also being called as solidification. This concept in this, what we have to say is all the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gases, expands on heating. Now basically when the heat energy is supplied, the kinetic energy of these particles increases. Thereby it increases the interparticle space. So interparticle space also increases with the increase in the kinetic energy, and because of that the solid, liquid or gases expands. Now let us study about evaporation. Evaporation is a process in which the substance from liquid state getting converted into gaseous state at any temperature below its boiling point. So here the liquid state is getting converted into the gaseous state. Evaporation is the surface phenomenon. Let's take an example. If the water is spilled on the floor, after some time it disappears. Even though if the room temperature, if it is temperature, then also it vaporizes. Okay, so liquid is getting converted into gaseous state. Let's learn about the factors that affect evaporation. First one, we have temperature. Second, humidity or moisture. Third one is movement of air, and fourth one is surface area. So these are the four factors which are responsible for evaporation. First one is temperature. When there is increase in temperature, the evaporation will take place faster. Second is humidity or moisture. When there is a presence of humidity or moisture, the evaporation decreases. Okay. Third is the movement of air. With the continuous movement of air, there is faster movement of air, evaporation can take place faster. And fourth is surface area. When there is a larger surface area, again the evaporation will take place faster. So these are the four factors which are affecting evaporation. Next, we will see sublimation. Sublimation is a process in which the substance from solid state getting converted into gaseous state without getting converted into liquid state. That is, directly from solid it is going to get converted into the gaseous state, okay, without transforming into the liquid state. So here we can give an example like naphthalene ball, camphor, ammonium chloride. Okay, these are some examples wherein the substance in the solid state getting converted into the gaseous state. So here we have learned the different properties of matter, that is size and shape, density, the changes of state due to heat. Okay. So in the next class we will learn about the change of state due to pressure. Thank you.